Grandpa got buried the day before my birthday. I was living with my ex-boss then, the man who took over Grandpa's business. And the next morning the calendar still said it was my birthday, like that was supposed to mean something. There wasn't a party, there wasn't a celebration. I remember locking myself in the bathroom, turning the shower on and sitting there crying while the water hit the floor. Dirt was still fresh on my boots, dirt was still fresh on the box. I kept thinking about how the world expected me to wake up and keep moving when yesterday was still sitting in the ground. The silence is crowded, the room ain't empty, the ghosts ain't visiting, they live here. The day Grandma died, I spent half my anger trying to get through doors that didn't want to open. By the time I finally found a room, the conversation was already gone. The machines were still humming, nurses were still walking the halls, and she was still there. But whatever words either of us still had left had already slipped somewhere neither of us could reach. So I sat down, wrapped my hand around hers, and held on while the room got quieter. Years later, I could still hear that silence. Funny thing about regret, it doesn't stay loud forever. It just waits until the house gets still enough for you to hear it breathing again. The silence is crowded, the room ain't empty, the ghosts ain't visiting, they live here. Billings, Montana, 6 in the morning, 20 below, the library didn't open until 10. So for 4 hours the whole world was a sidewalk, a piece of cardboard, and the hope somebody might stop long enough to help. Not for beer, not for drugs, for food, for heat, for one more day. People talk about survival like it's a movie scene where the music swells and the hero figures everything out. Now most days it looked a lot smaller than that. Most days it looked like trying to make it to 10 o'clock so you could worry about 11. It looked like frozen hands, a tired smile, and pretending you had a plan when the truth was you were building 1 hour at a time. The silence is crowded, the room ain't empty, the ghosts ain't visiting, they live here. My mother and I thought about damn near everything. Someday she chased me around the house with whatever happened to be close enough to grab, and I was stubborn enough to keep giving her reasons. We spent years butting heads, years saying things neither one of us could take back. Then one day she looked at me and told me if it wasn't for my grandparents, I would have been aborted. Funny thing about words like that, they don't leave. They find somewhere to sit down inside you when they wait. Not long after that I was gone. Different houses, different couches, different states. I spent years carrying my life in whatever would fit in the backseat. Some nights I knew where I was sleeping, some nights I didn't. The road got longer, the distance got bigger. I kept telling myself I was moving forward. Then life did what life always does. The years got shorter, the people got older, and somehow after everything, after all the miles, all the fights, all the things that should have ended differently, I found myself back in Ohio, helping take care of the same woman I spent years trying to get away from. Funny how that works. You spend half your life leaving, then one day you realize you came back. I used to think the ghosts were people, now I think they're moments. A bathroom floor with a shower running, a hospital room that got quiet too soon, 4 hours in the cold waiting for a library to open, words that never should have been said. But with miles of highway disappearing under headlights, an empty spot on the floor where a dog used to sleep, a road you've driven 100 times that still knows where the old wounds are buried. You spend enough years waiting for the file to close, in the room to empty, waiting for all of it to finally make sense. And one day you realize maybe that isn't how it works. Maybe some things stay with you, maybe they're supposed to. The room was still full, the coffee coffee was cold. And I sat there a while, watching the morning crawl through the window. The file stayed where it was, the voices stayed where they were. Nothing got solved, nothing got explained. The ghost didn't leave, and the past didn't suddenly start making sense. But after a while I stood up. The chair scraped across the floor. I grabbed my keys, closed the door behind me, and headed down the road. Not because life promised me anything, not because I finally figured it all out, just because morning showed up again. And after everything I've seen, everything I've lost, everything I've carried, I've learned that's reason enough to keep walking. No crown, just real. Just real.